Either he's not anywhere near as wealthy as he says he is, or he hasn't been paying the kind of taxes we would expect him to pay, or perhaps he hasn't been giving money to the vets or to the disabled like he's been telling us he's been doing.
Mitt Romney warning there may be a bombshell in Donald Trump's taxes. The GOP frontrunner responding, tweeting, quote, Mitt Romney, who was one of the dumbest and worst candidates in the history of Republican politics, is now pushing me on tax returns. Dope. Did I do that with the right emphasis? I think that's what Trump was thinking when he wrote it, right? Herman Cain ran against Mitt Romney back in 2012. The former presidential candidate and Fox News contributor joins me now. Herman, what is Mitt Romney doing here?
Melissa, I believe that was probably one of the most irresponsible speculations on the part of Mitt Romney that I anticipated. Now, I don't know whether he came up with that all by himself or whether or not he was advised to say that.
You don't think he knows something we don't, that he has some sort of information?
Something that he must know something that we don't. Now, here's my question. How would he know something about somebody else's tax return if it hasn't been made public? I call this pure political noise, Melissa, because if Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, if they release their tax returns, the nosy nitpickers are going to find something to have the IRS chasing to create noise from the substantive issues. Melissa, allow me to share with you a personal experience, which is why I think this is crazy and it's irresponsible. Back in 1994, I challenged Bill Clinton publicly in a town hall meeting about Hillary care and said that the numbers don't add up. That caused people to read the fine print. That was in 94.
Right.
I got audited in 1996, and it went on for 3 years with a lot of money that I had to spend with accountants and lawyers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 1999 that they finally dropped the charges because there was nothing there.
Let me bring you back to this issue, though.
Speculation.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm not even sure why we're looking at everyone's taxes anyway. I'm not necessarily certain that has to do with this campaign. But the irony of this coming from Mitt Romney, who suffered at the hands of those accusations from Harry Reid about, oh, I know someone who says he saw his returns and he hasn't paid his taxes for 10 years, and that whole issue was out there on the campaign trail, didn't turn out to be true. For Mitt Romney to turn around and kind of do what feels like something similar to somebody else, to me it's like in game theory where somebody's trying to bell the cat. The mice get together and they say, if only we could hang a bell on the cat, we would know when the cat is coming. And the mice scramble out to do it and they get eaten every time is the problem. They've got a great idea, but nobody can actually do it. It's like the establishment is sending somebody else in now to bell the cat with Mitt Romney to try and get Trump. Is there any other explanation in your mind? Is there any other reason behind this that would make sense?
Absolutely not. Harry Reid threw it out there, and some people in the media chased that rabbit for a long time, which was purely political noise, and it proved not to be true. So if Donald Trump's tax return, which is probably very complicated, I don't care whether it's a complicated tax return or a simple tax return, somebody will find something and make a claim that this was not right or he didn't do this in order to distract from the real issue. If I were Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, none of them need to release their tax returns. What does that have to do with being president? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, I wouldn't do it, and it's just going to create a distraction.
I think I'm in the minority on agreeing with you on that one, because I'm not sure why we need to look at everybody's tax returns, why that's necessarily relevant. At this point, though, you know, when you see folks go on camera from the other campaigns that are not the Trump campaign, it seems like their math is getting to be more and more of a reach, where they're trying to explain what's their path. And it seems like when Donald Trump goes through primary after primary, he's doing better than what everyone predicted. At what point does the establishment start to realize that this is a bit of a runaway train and figure out what do they do from here?
As you know, Melissa, the establishment, as well as some of the other candidates, have tried to find something to bring Trump down. And every time he either says something or he does something that they question because it doesn't fit traditional political wisdom, they think that they have got the gotcha card. So now they are desperate. I don't know who's putting Mitt Romney up to this. That's what I have absolutely no idea. But to the voters, this is simply political noise and intended to be a distraction so people won't seriously look at what these top candidates have to offer, including Donald Trump.
Yeah, it seems like it's just backfiring. It's like belling the cat.
Yes.
They're running out and getting eaten along the way. Herman Cain, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate